So, welcome back to the fifth part of the development story from the Su-47 to the SUX VTOL. And today we want to talk about the building process and also the flight testing of the VTOL version from the SUX. So let's go back to 2016, where the first prototype was built, and let's see how it looks like. Let's go! So right after the SUX vertical was built and painted, I mentioned that it is much too heavy. Yeah? I was about 300 grams over the calculated weight that everything would work. This calculated weight should be about 6.5 kilograms, and so the weight has to be reduced. Yeah? And what I did was, here I have the logbook of the SUX vertical, the build documentation, and here is a long list over altogether 3 sites where every little single point where it would be possible to save weight, for instance, change servos, change the design, yeah? Gram by gram, this jet has to be lighter and lighter and lighter. Yeah? And this weight reduction took about the same time like the complete build process. But it was absolutely necessary because with the starting weight it wouldn't work. Yeah? 300 grams maybe sounds not much, but it is a world in the VTOL technique. Yeah, right after doing all these changes and building the wings, for instance, 3 times till they reached the goal, the weight goal, it was time for the first hover. And this was in November 2017. And right on this first hover, there occur the next technical problems. Yeah? We will see in this video.
Konzentration.
Leer, sehr gut. Genau 99% leer. Schwebt erst rein. Jetzt noch ein bisschen gieren. Ja, geht gut. Jetzt mit Steuern.
Strömungsabriss am vorderen EDF und Verlust der Steuerbarkeit. Scheiße.
Yeah, what we saw here was a stall, an EDF stall, and this was caused on the front EDF. I can make this here. Here we have our EDF, the little one, and here we have 2 vanes, and these vanes can swing to left and right, and in the first construction they were painted here, they swing too much, yeah, so that the air can't blow normally out. And here there was a back pressure on the EDF, and so the EDF stalled and no air came through and the jet sucks down. That's what we see, and solving the problem was to don't let them go that much. Now they just swing about that it is still possible for the air to get along them and that there do not happen a stall. And also we saw that the gear was broken on one axle and this was reinforced. So this was an impression for you from a very short test flight, but this short flight took a lot of changes behind it, and so it goes on and on. Everything was tested again, changed, and this takes some years. We can see in the next clips. Then in August 2018 there was the VTOL World Meeting on Friedrichshafen in Bavaria, where all crazy guys who constructed some VTOL seaplane come together and talk about their technique, and there was also a little content for those VTOL planes. There I did my first vertical takeoff and first transition to normal flight ever.
Yes! You did it!
Yeah, because this was a great moment and I think this could work, and so I did it. But the fine settings were not already made, especially the self-leveling of the jet. This was not set, so I have to level it all the time with my sticks, and this took a lot of patience. And so when I want to do the back transition, this means from normal flight to vertical hover, I oversteered it. I make too much input on the tilt stick, so that I start swinging the jet up and down till it reaches too much down angle and crashes vertical down.
Put it off, put it off.
This was the first big crash of the Su-X vertical, but this crash gave me the chance to think all over it and to improve a lot of things. So the nose section was rebuilt and a lot of improvements were made on these sections. and then the test flies goes on with self-leveling this time. Yeah, felt hundreds of hours. I was hovering around with the SUX vertical to see if all the technique is working fine, to do fine adjustment, to become a feeling for hovering, because when you fly a VTOL jet, it's important that you are able to fly a normal plane and also to be able to fly a helicopter, because it's a mix of both, and this needs a lot of training. And so this was training for the jet and also for me. And I was testing this in a lot of weather conditions. That means lots of temperatures, lots of windy conditions, to see that it works fine in all these different conditions. For instance, at snow. There it was also interesting to see if something is sucked in from above and if maybe this reduces the power, but everything works really nice, as you can see in these clips. after these ground hover trainings, it goes on with the transitions up above in safety high. There appears suddenly a strange behavior while the jet was hovering absolutely stable on the ground. When I start hovering up in the air in about 50-meter altitude, it starts shaking, and the shaking becomes more and more and more. It looks really strange. So I had to start new this fine adjusting process so that it is hovering on the ground stable and has a night fly behavior, and also up in the sky. And this I was doing while I was hovering the jet, and do some movements, for instance circle around so that the wind can grab the jet from every side. And when it stays stable and on every moment while it is circling, I say it is fine. And this also takes some flights, as you can see in these clips. And after all these tests and hoverings and checks and so on, it was time to do the next vertical takeoff with direct transition. Now it is nearly 3 years ago till I did it on the VTOL meeting in 2018, and the weather was fine, the jet was fine. I had a good feeling. So, and let's see how it works.
hier. Ja, leg die Kugel rum. Wenn ich den Indikator lande, dass du dann lesen, wird es getroffen werden. Hat Spaß gemacht.